Hello there, and welcome to Rome 2 Total War, a very special Rome 2 Total War. This is Dividi et Imperia, which is a mod for Total War Rome 2. Now, I know we were doing the Evocati series once before. We were doing that, and we were going through the Roman Republic and things like that. But I actually heard about this mod back then, and I thought, when there's a new stable version out, and it's complete, I'm going to play it, basically. I'm going to have it on the channel. I'm going to replace the old Evocati series with the new one, which is this one. I've just finished teaching, so for the night, and I thought, you know what, I've not had my fix of the ancient world just yet. So we're going to be playing Dividi et Imperia. We're going to be playing the whole campaign from start to finish. I'm going to talk to you. I know we have gamers on the channel, and we also have people who are interested in history and settings and things like that. I'm going to try and do both. I'm going to try and talk to you about the differences between the game, the mod and the game, the normal game, and obviously talk about the Roman Republic and how you can actually use it in your world when you're building your world. Let's get on with it, shall we? There's some really nice background images as well. Got a Celtic one here, got a Punic one there, Carthage, Hellenic, Persian, back to Dividi et Imperia. So, Grand Campaign. We will be playing as Rome, and that's because I find this mod really, really, really difficult, because it slows everything down. You can't recruit very quickly, you can't, do things that quickly. You can't just recruit Roman troops or Macedonian troops or Spartan troops on the other side of the world. You can't do it. So it slows everything down quite a bit. And on the flip side of that, the difficulty of the game stays the same, if not gets a bit harder. So when you play people like Epirus, for example, you're declared war on all sides, and you can't even recruit troops to help you out. So I think the mod is broken in certain ways. There are certain factions in the game that just are not playable. Epirus is one of them, because you have a hard challenge, and this is on the normal game, it's quite hard, because everyone declares war on you, but you do have a little bit of money to get your troops recruited, so you can at least fight back a little bit. You're still going to have to play really well to get out of it. This mod, though, the way that it handles troop recruitment and slows it down quite a bit, but to make it more realistic, makes playing someone like Epirus completely ridiculously stupid. It can't be. I would go as far as saying it can't be done. If you can do it, download the mod and prove me wrong. I'd love to see that, because I've tried 8 or 9 times now. I was going to do a series on Epirus, it doesn't work. And the only one I can see working, I think this mod is basically built for Rome. Rome and maybe massive states like Egypt and places like that. Other states can't really compare, to be honest with you. You can't really do a small state with this mod. If you can, again, you may be a better player than me, but I couldn't get like someone like Sparta working, for instance, because you've only got one province, and it's not making that much money, and you need to build armies to go out and conquer things. It only takes 1 or 2 people having a go at you for you all of a sudden to be surrounded on all sides. Now, diplomacy works really, really well in this mod, as in it works sort of like Imperator Rome, where people actually, it matters who you're allied with. Rome 2 and many other Total Wars, they fail quite a bit in that way, in that if you are allied with somebody, they don't really do anything for you. They don't really help you, they don't really come to your aid, they don't really, and they will turn on you eventually. In this mod, though, that's fixed a little bit. They do come to your aid, they help you out, they give you trade. It basically acts like an actual normal person, essentially. So, this is Rome, and you'll notice that the names of the factions are all changed. So you've got Scudat, Diadochi, or Diadokoi, Arzabon, Galli, Gritani, Kordachim, which is the ancient name for Carthage. So, right. So we will be playing as Rome. Now we've got a choice. Do we play as the Nobiles, the Patrici, or the Equites? Now, Nobiles are basically the new money. These are people who are newly minted to the Senate. They are essentially the gaming equivalent of the Julii in Rome 1 and in this game as well. where they're meant to go north and conquer barbarian tribes, because obviously their stats here are in that favour. So they don't like foreign cultures being in their presence because they're meant to go out and subjugate them. They get increased melee attack during battles against barbarian tribes because they're very good against barbarians, and increased cultural conversion. So basically, they're about conquering, going out there, conquering, laying down your terminology. Now, the nobles, as it says here, it was a descriptive term of social rank, usually indicating that a member of the family had achieved the consulship. Those who belonged to the hereditary patrician families were noble, but plebeians rose, whose ancestors were consuls, were also considered nobles. The transition of nobilitas thus required the rise of an exceptional individual who was considered a new man, novus homo. Two of the most famous examples of these were self-made new men were Gaius Marius, who held the consulship 7 times, and Marcus Tullius Cicero. These are new people. These are people who rise up. There's still... This is very misleading in that it's saying, oh, people could rise up from being a plebeian to being consul. No, they couldn't. Just didn't happen. Plebeians did not become consul. At least not in the history that we know of, anyway. The Roman Senate was a very closed shop, and what I mean by closed shop is that it was a democracy, but certain counts voted more than others. So every single person who's a Roman citizen can vote, but if you're a normal Roman citizen who owns a farm in Capua, let's say, just outside of Capua, your vote counts for 1, okay? But if you're a senator who has 4 or 5 different families backing you, your 1 vote counts for like 3,000 people, right? So certain votes mean more than others. In terms of this novus homo, that is true, but the novus homos mainly came from the lower ranks of the nobilities. So these are still nobles who are, nobles are people who have, even though it says like plebeians here, if you are a plebeian who goes into the Senate, you're normally a plebeian with a lot of money, with a lot of capital, who's made quite a lot of friends on the Senate, and you're invited to become part of the Senate. It's an invitation-only system. You can't earn your way onto the Senate. The Senate is a symbolic power in Rome, and it has no official power. The power rests with the people. But because the Senate is a very representative, is a very symbolic power base, whoever the senators vote for, all of their power block, all the plebeians who follow them will vote for them. So will vote the way that they vote. So even though the Senate has no real power, it has a lot of indirect power. And so the novus homo thing, yes, it did happen, but plebeians, this myth of plebeians who just rise up to become to become consuls, it very rarely happened, to the point that it's debatable whether it actually did at all. Okay, so be very, very careful with that. But again, novus homo basically means Gaius Julius Caesar was one of these. The Caesarian clan, the Caesars, they were very the Gaius Julii. They were very new money. They were new senators. They were low-ranking senators, but they were still senators. They still lived better than most of the people. But they were new. They were new men, basically. That's the nobili. The patricii. So. It's a term that originally referred to a group of ruling class families in ancient Rome. Patricians were historically afforded more privileges than plebeians. At the beginning of the Republic, patricians were better represented in the Roman assemblies. Only patricians could hold political offices, and all priesthoods were closed to non-patricians. There was a belief that patricians communicated better with the Roman gods, so they alone could perform the sacred rites and take the auspices. So, again, the mod author is contradicting themselves quite a bit when they say that people who are plebeians can become consuls, and then saying that only the patricians can actually be consuls. I mean, this is more historically accurate, this description here, because the patricians were the noble elite. These are the people who were the old aristocracy of the area. These are the people, the Brutii, for instance, were part of this clan structure. And yeah, they essentially ruled the Senate, even though the Senate was unofficial in power. the words of these people, because obviously they were considered to be the better communication with the gods. They were considered to be old families who were blessed by the gods, and so everyone would follow what they did, essentially. Equites basically means knights. Okay, and equites, sometimes called knights in modern times because the involvement of horses, constituted the lower of the two aristocratic classes of ancient Rome, ranking below the patricians, a hereditary caste that monopolized political power during the early Republic. All the members of the first class of commoners were required to serve as cavalrymen, with the exception of the purely hereditary patricians. The equites were originally defined by a property threshold. The ranking was passed from father to son, as well as holding large landed estates. Equites came to dominate mining, shipping, and manufacturing industries. In particular, tax farming companies, publicani, were almost all in the hands of equites. So, I would switch these around, to be honest with you. I would put equites here and patricii here. So then we've got the nobiles, who are technically part of the Senate, but only technically. These are low-ranking nobles who didn't really have much power, but they were still nobles. They still were better than normal people, and they still had a seat in the Senate. This count mainly the plebs becoming consuls and senators very rarely happened. Okay, because in the early Republic, the patricians held the power because they held most of the land, they held most of the agriculture, they held most of the things in the palm of the hand. And they became the ruling classes, the ruling families of the Roman Republic, early Roman Republic. The old blood. The equites, these are the real new blood. These are the new bloods who have made money. These are people who either were plebeians or who made a lot of money, and they now hold lots of power over industry, things like that. These are the equites. These are what those people are. Okay? So you go from nobiles, and of course, none of these. There are no political systems in Rome. Political parties in Rome. Never, ever, ever think that there are political parties in Rome. There are not. These are loose classes, and these are classes that people sort of fall into, and it's very, very fluid. You can go from being classed as a nobiles one day, you could be an equites the second day, and then all of a sudden, because you've accrued so much money and so much glory, you're in the patrician class. Julius Caesar's career followed that path. He was a new blood. He went out and accrued more power, more wealth. Went out and conquered more land in Gaul. Became part of the equites, so part of the landed gentry, landed establishment. Had lots of land to himself, lots of wealth to himself, until eventually he became part of the establishment. You become what you hate. He became the dictator for life, which is basically lifelong member to the patrician class, lifelong member of the Senate. You can do whatever the hell you want. So. That's a brief overview of the three factions that are in the game and how they actually historically participated in Roman life. Very loose explanation, of course, but this isn't a history lecture, but still very, very important. We're going to be playing these equites because I like knights, and I'm actually writing about equites right now in my own setting, so we're going to be doing that. The same for plebs, penalty, probably called a penalty from presence of Latin culture. I mean, it's kind of silly because we are Latin, but okay, whatever, it's fine. One really cool thing about this mod is if you recruit like a legion from Gaul, they'll have Gaulish armor on. That's something that I geeked out for totally. I was like, oh yes. It's always freaked me out that you could recruit proper Roman legions from like Britain. Yeah, you can't in this mod. They will be Roman legions, but they'll be Roman legions drawn from Britain. So they'll have like British dress on underneath Roman armor and things like that. So you just basically you've trained up the local people to come and fight for you. So plus the way this mod's developed, I do find that it's for like 4 or 5 different factions. That being Rome, Carthage, Macedon, Egypt, Ptolemaic Egypt and the Seleucid Empire. And even the Seleucid Empire falls very, very quickly in this mod as well. I do recommend it though. It comes in 3 parts on the workshop, Steam Workshop. Go and download it if you've got the game. Always takes a while to load it first time, because it is loading not just the game and the game world, but like every single unit that the mod has, and the mod has a lot of units because, you know, just Rome itself. If you go and conquer Gaul, you know, obviously there'll be different unit types there now, legionaries, but different types. All right, almost there. I always get paranoid when I'm talking about Rome and stuff. I'm not going too quick, but you know, I guess if you're watching this, you've got a grounded knowledge in Rome anyway, so I'm not leaving anyone behind. So glad to be able to be doing this. I thought about doing this for a long, long time. I think the last time we did it was in February for with Rome 2. But oh my god, like being able to do this mod is such a cool thing. Can't wait. We do have the 12 turns per year mod on as well, so all of our leaders will be getting more attached to them, seeing them grow, seeing their rise through the Roman system. It's really cool. Oh, man of Athens, I do. Don't need to listen to that. Not that he was saying anything anyway. So, this is why it's basically made for Rome. If you see, even the stats, even the look of the Roman generals is different now. You guys come up here, because we want to take on the Etruscans straight away.
No further orders.
Go away. We will have supply reforms. Yep, always get supply reforms first. Our fleet will want to go down to Egypt. There is no there is no option to forced march or anything on this because they found that overpowered. And also another thing about the mod, if you put armies in cities, rather than making the actual thing better, the actual rather than making the public order better, it makes it worse. So people don't want, you know, big armies living with them and things, which is fine. So who do we have here? Look at this dude with his moustache. Gnaeus Cornelius Scipio Messina. He's 23, so Does he have a wife yet? No, he doesn't. I'm gonna have to get him a wife. So I want to actually just see what kind of forces we can recruit. Regulus. Oh, these are the normal guys. Okay. Niger, Scipio, Cursor, Marcus Junius Brutus. Very famous name, Marcus Junius Brutus. Do you know what? I think we're going to go with not Lebo. We're going to go with
ready for orders.
Gaius Cornelius Scipio. He's going to be our favoured man. Come march north for me, please, my friend.
You have further
And you can march south. Notice troops move a lot slower, which is why I've installed the 12 turns per year mod. We don't need more food. One of them's +5 public order. Which one was that? Because public order is huge in this. I don't know why, but it's huge in this mod. Cool. So we spent all of our money. Things are a lot. And also, you do get female generals in this. I don't know why. It's very silly. It didn't happen in Greece or anywhere like that. You tend to get forced diversity is revisionist history. Really gets up my nose. Has to be said.
Greetings, my friend. You have my... We Greeks are a realistic folk, and will accept this accord, even as it hurts our pride.
Okay.
Be welcome. If I can give you a fair...
So I'm hoping the AI is not going to be silly about...
If I can give you a...
Good.
My...
Good. So we've got a bit more trade coming in. That's good. It starts you off with a lump sum, this mod. But aside from that, you're pretty much done. It's like, no, you get... Things are so expensive that, you know, your upkeep.
Your wares are as common as salted fish. We no longer see merit in trade with your merchants.
Okay. Then good luck getting help with Carthage, because I'm not going to help you.
We hunger for advance. Commander, at once.
I really want to play all the Total Wars, you know. I'm not a huge fan of how they've gone in recent years, but I actually don't mind the Warhammer ones. They're not terrible by any means. And also, you know, don't really think that they're the best games in general. See, look, we're not making a lot of money, like, at all. We're making 83 a turn. So we're going to need to go conquer stuff pretty quickly. One thing I do like about the mod, though, it tends to stick to its own rules. So, because we're not making any money, neither are anyone else. See, there are lots of other mods and lots of other things. Lots of, even Rome, even the base game, where if I don't have any money because of the way things work, the game will give itself lots of money. Like, it'll keep recruiting things. Which is why in this mod, people like Epirus are so hard to play. Because you just can't get a foothold. Okay, you guys...
Ready for order. On the move.
Yeah.
March.
Let's
We
just
hunger for battle.
call you Primigenia. That's my favourite name for a legion. Primigenia.
Commander. Besieging settlement. We hunger for battle. At once.
Nice. See if we can get some more trade on the go, shall we? RDI.
Enter, friend, and speak.
Shut up.
We surely have
We don't have anything to discuss. You didn't exist in history, so yeah.
Be welcome, but may Athena...
I've got no problem with, like, female combat units, because that did happen very, 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 very rarely, but it did happen. Female queens just taking control of an entire state very rarely happened. That's why Cleopatra's so famous.
Be welcome here, and speak as you wish.
Why don't you want to trade with me? And she's badass as well. You know? But if you're just going to make every single... It seems like every single power in this game that they could get away with, they gave them female leaders. They're very shouty as well, so whenever you speak to them, like, oh, Jesus Christ, alright. Hush. Don't know why the voice actors are like that. Just so shouty. Again, I suppose the men like that as well.
Ready for orders. Laying siege to the settlement.
Hey, you might want to get up there pretty quick, my friend.
My skills are yours.
You have one of them. You have one of them. You're going to see a lot of turn switching. We're going to Egypt because we want to get grain. Grain. Want to get us some grain. It looks like the RDI and the Epirus are already at war. Don't know why Carthage is called Carthaginium on this, which is their actual name, but like New Carthage is called Nova Carthago. Just okay. Nothing I like about this year in history. What was going on? Quite nice. I wish Total War would do this more often. This is the mod. This isn't. This isn't the base game. So, barracks construction, physical conditioning, why not?
At your command. That path is blocked.
So this is the thing. This is why I think Rome's set up for this, because our public order's going up, everything's fine. If you're the Seleucids, you are done public order within 2 turns. It's just ridiculous. It's at minus 100. I'm not getting any income from these because they're minus. We're getting income from these pretty soon because they're going up in terms of. But yeah. Anyway.
There is good in trade. To walk through a market is to understand a people and learn to respect them.
I like some of the ways people talk. Show you my least favourite Total War for voices. Okay, so we got the Egyptians.
I am the ears of divine Pharaoh, for he is not to be troubled by the concerns of ordinary mortals.
Well, you don't want to trade with us, why not? Why not? Okay, we'll go trade with the Seleucids then.
It is an honor. Moving out. Your next command? Still have a good wind.
Okay. I forgot that that bugs in the game where if you click something then move the camera, it, the frame rate goes down quite a lot.
We hunger for battle.
All right. Let's fight this on the battle map, shall we? May as well. See if I can keep our losses down. Funny enough, I was playing Etruria for my Imperator Rome playthrough. Not much to that game, really. Yeah, not much to it. Like, it doesn't seem to be, very in depth. Like, it generally just ebbs away, Don't mind rain because we've got
Brave Romans to a man.
over here.
Spear infantry at your command.
Yeah, I told you to come over here. There we go.
General.
Velites!
Ready. Proud Romans. More quick march.
You guys are utterly expendable, so you can run in here.
Every man is a hero. Prepare for action.
We await your commands! In the name of
Orders. Quick march.
Missile infantry!
Fire.
Get it in there.
Levies. Take aim. Ready and waiting.
Ready and waiting! Those men are the spirits of the dead! Of dead!
Not yet.
We're okay, we're not taking any damage at the moment because we've got heavy troops. They are though. They're light spears. Look at this. Taking a right pounding.
Velites!
Our general is under attack.
Is he?
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Yep, that'll be one of our...
I suppose we could throw insults next.
I love that. Well, that's the last of it.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Ready. Orders.
Brave Romans to a man! A charge!
Ready and waiting.
Ready and waiting!
No, stay in there.
Sons of Mars! Your orders?
General.
Ready!
The battle is turning in our favor.
By your command.
Velites!
Fire!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Double! Missiles ready and waiting. And forward! Yours to command.
We should do it.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Ready and waiting. General! Hack for glory! Yes, Commander! Orders understood!
Finished for a little bit. Hardly lost anyone, I don't think. That'll do us. No cavalry, we can't really run anyone down, which is unfortunate. Lost 34 men. That that's similar to the ratios that Caesar would put up back in the day. Caesar would say, you know, Caesar would vastly overinflate all the things that he did, essentially, which is a shame. But he was essentially the first war correspondent in history, like a journalist from the front lines. He would send home to Rome tales of his exploits in the forms of his journals and his proclamations and things like that. So his legend was pretty much huge by the time he came home. He knew exactly what he was doing with that, of course. Trying to negate your purporter's own legend. Very, very clever. Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
At your command.
Get the lads off the leash a little bit, and we need the money.
Commander.
But 100% in terms of do any of that yet.
We hunger for battle. Laying siege to the settlement.
There we go.
What do you wish of them? As you
Can we
command.
see if there's any other surprises around here for us? No. Good.
Can I be of more assistance?
Ready for orders. Make haste, men. At your command.
Skilled tactician. Commander of men.
Glory, wealth, and a...
Fine by me. Not going there for quite a long time. I mean, actually, we're going to do it a little bit weirdly. We're going to do Italy, secure Italy, then Spain, I think. If you go down to the woods today.
Ready for orders. We take this settlement for Rome.
At your service. I do
I'll
enjoy
give it a go.
little sabotage. Rome deserves better. I am sorry.
That's okay. Didn't expect you to do much anyway. Funny how certain ancient cities have thrived into the modern day and some haven't. Like Antioch's completely disappeared, whereas Alexandria is still there. Alexandria is still in... Ooh! Wasn't expecting that. That's got a bit of balls. Save it just in case I fail. Let's do this. I reckon we can do this. We could really do some cavalry though, man. Jesus. We do have a lot more spears though. Throwing spears. So if we can keep them safe. Yeah. That's pretty much our advantage here, is that we have a more varied army, really. We have more manpower, though. Hopefully, they're going to come at us, though, which would be nice.
Ready and waiting!
Okay, so... you there.
Romans all.
You there.
By your command.
You there.
Velites. Proud Romans all. Missile infantry.
Do you know what? I'm going to try and be clever. Maybe too clever for my own good, but...
Velites.
Are they hidden now? Are they hidden? Yeah, they are. Just throw them in here. Because I want to keep them away from the enemy cavalry. if I can keep them in here,
Levies!
then they're going to be unseen until like the final couple of seconds,
At your command.
and then they can just run out
Jupiter gives us strength.
and immediately start throwing shit.
Levies!
You are not. Okay.
Sons of Mars!
Yep, they're all unseen. Good.
Missile!
I have one missile unit over here.
Velites!
Two, actually, why not?
Romans ready for duty. General!
General can go over here.
Romans ready for duty. Commander!
Right.
Romans ready for duty.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. If this works, I am a tactical genius, and you will owe me a pint. So, let's go. Let's have it.
The eyes of
Well, they've got to come to us. Where are they? That's disconcerting. If they were here, we'd be able to see them. If they were anywhere where I thought they were going to be, we'd be like, yep, that's where they are. There they are. And they're coming in that direction. Are they running up the hill? Seriously?
for Rome.
Okay. Is that plan scuppered? These lads over here. Okay,
Brave Romans to a
lads.
man.
not you. They stay hidden for quite a long time, don't they?
At the double.
Pull them back for now.
Spears ready. At speed. Quick march.
Commander! Advance at speed!
Okay.
Missile infantry.
This is going to be
Brave Romans
very
to a man.
close.
Advance at speed.
We're going to have to rely on our dudes generally just duking it out with them. I didn't want to have to do that, but the
One of
fact
our
that they
units has used all its ammunition.
went over that side basically means, yeah, we're... Are they throwing all their spears at bloody...
Mars aid us. Missiles ready and waiting. Take aim!
There we go, killed a few of them. What's he gonna do? Oh, look at this! Okay, I think the cavalry's coming into... Is it coming in?
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
At the devil!
Okay, so we got rid of one of the units. It will come back, but it's heavily smashed at the moment.
Now!
Throw it in there.
Double time! At the devil! Quick march!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Advance at speed! Double time!
Do you like how the battle is very much like an ancient battle would be?
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Orders understood! Take aim! Rub fire on the enemy!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay. What can we do here? Okay, what we can do... Pull these through. You guys go and attack them. What we're going to do here... Throw these guys into there. You guys are going to come around here. So I wasn't expecting them to be able to just beat us, like, straight up, but, you know.
Jupiter gives us strength.
That's it. Run, 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 run.
Infantry ready! Levies! Double time!
Our general is under attack.
And now he's under attack, but there's not something we can do about that right now.
By your command! Heavies!
Oh, the levies are worth the weight in gold right now.
Velites! Advance at speed!
Oh, they folded up the they've done it. They folded up the entire flank for me. That's good, that's good.
For glory!
Kill him.
To advance!
Got him.
Proud Romans all! Yes, Commander! General!
Nope, just you guys.
Your service!
Down here. Quick, 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 quick.
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units. One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And whilst the cav was there hiding, they've pretty much given away the entire battle, to be honest with you. But I'm not gonna be too disappointed by that.
General! Advance! That's for glory! Ready for orders! Ready and waiting. Wait forward! Missiles ready and waiting! On my order with...
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful
If
display.
they end up winning for that one cav charge, I'm going to be really upset. Because they've just charged a load of cav into spearmen. Yeah, they should not be winning this fight from here.
Quick march! Engage! General!
We've outclassed them at every opportunity so far. Good.
Yours
Run
to
away.
command! Engage!
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Let's get up there, shall we? Even the game's saying we should win it from here. Gonna be close, but yeah, we got it.
Yes, Commander!
And this is why people don't like fighting like horseman tribes. These are very heavy melee cavalry, very fair, but that's okay. But the fact that he can just kite now and just refuse... I've known people online to, you know, to just kite
Our men
constantly.
flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
Yeah, there we go. Be honourable. Charge in, be honourable. Come on. You gonna do it? I think he has. Yep.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
General!
There you go. Enemy general's gone.
Ready Ready for orders.
Oh, I'm so happy with that.
Army!
So happy with that. Like pulling the Velites around the side like that. That's basically what I was setting up to do at the very start, was to have them come on to me and then pull them in from the side, whilst using the defensive capabilities of the Romans to,
We have discovered the enemy's hidden units.
Wouldn't work for the longest time like that. Mainly because the enemy came in a different direction, but we managed to do it, and we managed to do the tactic that we wanted to do at the start anyway. Which is good.
The battle is turning in our favor.
March out! General! Orders understood!
That was something else. That was really, really, really good. Troy, look at how good Cav units are. Even then, he got 260 kills, and he spent the entire battle in a bush, and even then he got 260 kills. That's a good Cav art mopping up on this game, and in general real life as well. I mean, my main forte is military history, ancient military history, so. That worked out well. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Was pull them onto us and then hit them with our main advantage, which was the Velites and the spear throwers. Very mobile. And whilst it looked like I couldn't do that for a little bit, we suckered them in by smashing them with all of our missiles, and then went round the side. They were the main men. They were the absolute heroes of that battle, I'll tell you.
At ease, men.
Oh. Yeah, and there's another thing that the mod does is disease. It's happened to me in every single one so far. Every single game that I've played of this so far.
At your command.
Do we need mercs? Why not?
For death and honor!
Okay, we'll auto-resolve this one.
That is impossible. Ready for orders. At your command.
Nice.
Commander.
Get rid of them, get rid of them. Disband. Give these guys an honourable discharge. Disband. Get rid of these guys. Disband.
At your command.
How may I serve you?
Right, well. Actually,
We hunger for battle.
want you.
Rome needs good fighters.
over there. I want you to come
My
up here.
stones, treading softly.
Just
No
have a look at the
further
goals for me.
orders.
Putting on bread and games. One thing about bread and games that was in ancient history is a lot of people think that gladiatorial combat was to the death, and it was for the quality of the masses to entertain them. Actually, it has its origins in funerary rites and funerary games. You'd have two slaves fighting for the you'd have two slaves fighting for the the happiness of the deceased, to make sure that they are well kept and well kept for. In later years, when it became very, very, very popular to have gladiatorial games, you would very rarely, if ever,
Commander.
let's go over here, shall we? You would very rarely, if ever, get the gladiator killed,
To the ships.
because most of the time
Stopping for now.
you would have to pay an indemnity of 10 times the hiring cost. Now, think about a Roman gladiator back then would cost about 10 times the annual salary of the average Roman to actually hire for one show. If you get him killed, you're paying is worth 10 times over. So it wasn't really worth getting them killed. So when a lot of people say, "Oh well, yeah, it's to the death," it wasn't really,
Ready for
not at
battle.
all.
Advance.
Wasn't really at all to the death. It was. I'm going to replace you for a little while, just so you can not die of plague. There you go, Cornelius.
We hunger for battle.
So I actually liken gladiatorial combat back then to professional wrestling these days, in that it is fake. It's not real, but the dangers are. The dangers are very, very, very real. And it's essentially like watching a live stunt show. I mean, there are even pieces of evidence that show that the Romans would have music playing by live bands to accommodate what was going on in the ring. What was going on in the arena. So I don't believe that Roman gladiatorial combat was real. I believe it was a thing, most definitely, but I don't believe it was real. Mainly because of that. Mainly because of the fact that if you got them killed, you'd have to pay so much money. Now, did people die? Of course they did. Did people die on purpose? Of course they did. If you had more money than God, which Julius Caesar did, or something else like that did, you could pay people to fight for the death. You could do. And those were the ones that would garner a lot of attention. But I would say up to about 90 to 95% of gladiatorial combats, death was an unfortunate, unforeseen circumstance that people had to pay a lot for. So generally, it didn't happen. But anyway, thanks for watching. And this is gonna be the first part where next time we'll be finishing off the Etruscans, and we'll be having a go at the Gauls. So I'll speak to you then.